for the nearly 26 million Americans who suffer from the disease. And on to that story in Philadelphia. Remember these pictures? The building collapse in Philadelphia this week killed 6 people, injured many more. It's raising questions about construction site safety all over the country. New details now emerging about the contractor and the people involved in the Philadelphia accident. With us now from Philadelphia is former prosecutor Jeff Gold. Jeff, welcome back to the show. You know, the very curious facts seeming to emerge from this whole story. I've been following it closely. And you have to think the federal government itself has rules against some of the things that we're hearing happen on the site. For example, no wall section, which is more than 1 story in height, shall be permitted to stand alone without lateral bracing. And that was one of the criticisms of this demolition that we've been talking about, and that you can see here, that there was no bracing, that in fact, many of the tactics, many of the ploys to bring this building down, maybe not above board. What do you think of that?
Well, you know, it's being investigated criminally as well as a civil suit's already been filed. You know, there's 2 things going on here. There were complaints about this building made to the city, and we may not want the government to be in our backs all the time, but when it comes to safety in our cities, we expect when they go out and they inspect, and they did inspect this upon a complaint 3 weeks before and said it was fine. You know what they did, Jerry? They went out, they said the placards are in the window and this guy is licensed. That's it. And then look at the disaster that happened.
It's
afterwards.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It really
and
is.
Now we're finding out that the contractor has a rap sheet. He's been in trouble with the law, insurance fraud, narcotics charges. It goes on and on. Assault. Sure, he may have had a legitimate license, but you know how it is with local government. I mean, let's face it. There's a lot of things that go on under the table in these cities. You've got to think maybe this was one of them.
Well, take a look at, you know, what he put on his application. On a job that I understand would normally cost $250,000, he put down that he was getting paid $10,000. He hires workers. He doesn't even give them hard hats. They're not secured on a line when they're doing their work. They're seen using crowbars, just hitting bricks. There's nothing to protect the sidewalk. It was a very shoddy job. Philadelphia doesn't license these type of demolitions. He's licensed as a contractor. Maybe they really ought to. He's being investigated like he was the drunk captain of a cruise ship. You know, it requires some recklessness here, but I think it was extreme recklessness on the contractor's part.
Well, let me just say this, in case you think this only affects people in Philadelphia. The reality is this. On any given day, there are some 6.5 million people on 252,000 construction sites in the country. Anything could happen, right? And there are 300 open demolition permits in Philadelphia alone right now. So it seems to me it's incumbent on all of us to make sure that the people who are doing these are keeping everybody safe. I mean, it's astonishing to me that here you have people working in the Salvation Army store next door while the demolition was proceeding, and it's those people who got killed. The wall just tumbled over on top of them, and everybody in the neighborhood, anybody in construction, there were plenty of people who saw the kinds of things you're talking about, saw the kinds of shoddy practices. Nothing happened. This could have been prevented.
That's right, and they complained. It wasn't as if they were silent. They actually complained about it. You know, the federal government only has OSHA regulations, which are really about the safety of workers. It really doesn't have a place in determining these local issues about the safety of the demolition itself. Whether they should or shouldn't, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, both the contractor here is in a bunch of trouble, and I think the town has been scrambling to go and re-inspect all the other sites. And I'll tell you one other thing. He has 4 sites in this city. 2 of them have already been found to be in violation when they re-inspected after the tragedy.
Wow. I guess we're going to hear a lot more out of Philadelphia on this story. Jeff, thanks for coming on. Great to see you. Have a good weekend.
Good seeing you. You too.
Well, we've got more to come.